Weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Donay's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague Lott fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and good morning and welcome into a Victory Thursday, day after game day Wednesday on halftime. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson with Matt Jones and Christian Johnston producing. And what a day it is after finishing a sweep of the hated Texas Longhorns. But I got to check in on my guys here. Matt, Christian, it was a late night. The overtime felt like it was never going to end. I know the two of you guys had hog reaction late last night, so I went to bed right when the game was over. I know you guys had to stay up pretty late. How you feeling today, and how was the fan base feeling last night?
It's always good to win. So yes, good day, sir. I want to say the last time I looked at the clock before I fell asleep, it was 3:27 a.m.
Oh.
So that was a good. Then 7:30 or something. You wake up and you're wide awake. So life's good.
It's funny how it works. It's
Always good to win, though.
Well, yes, much better to win than to lose and be up until 3:30 and get 4 hours of sleep. Isn't it funny how it works out like that? You must have expected that it would be difficult to fall asleep. I mean, it was an exciting game, and you had I guess a couple hours of radio to host afterwards. You know, when I'm finished with a baseball game late at night or one of these good basketball games, I have trouble falling asleep
100%.
too. You can't do it. You can't do it. And it's not like I worry too much about a late night tip-off. It's just the fact that if you have a game like you had yesterday and the adrenaline is running through you all throughout the moment that they came out and Brazil hits a three-pointer, I started thinking, I think we got a game today. Because that was so much of our conversation yesterday after we knew that Adu Thera would be out. We had a lot of listeners texting in saying, it is Brazil or we are done. And the moment that he comes out, hits a three, I didn't realize he was going to rebound and defend as well as he did yesterday. But that made me think that we were about to see a good performance by the Hogs. What a first half they played. You got to give it to Texas, and I think that Trey Johnson may be the most exciting opponent we've played all year in a single player. But for a team where everybody out there was going to play about 22 to 25 minutes, of course your starters are out there for more than 30, to have enough in the tank after giving up that lead and seeing Texas grab the lead in the final couple of minutes, man, it says a lot about the team. It says a lot about the coaching staff, and they obviously feel there's a lot to play for because it was great effort yesterday.
Yeah, if there was a man of the match, player of the game, it would have been Trevion Brazil. There is no doubt about it. And Phil, you're right. When he hit those first couple of threes, you thought that. But I'll tell you when I thought it, when he had that put back dunk that he hasn't had in a month and a half. He offensive rebound, going up big and being strong. He did that the early part of the year. The last 7 games, you haven't seen that. That's when I was like, I'm starting to believe.
There was, I think, that proverbial chip on the shoulder. People that said it doesn't look like he's playing with a lot of joy. I remember when Brazil was going before the knee injury a couple of years ago, I don't know if joy was the word, but he played angrily, and you believed it. No, he wasn't faking it. I saw that on his face last night. I think he played, Matt, almost like he was there to defend his reputation in a sense. I don't know if he's not listening to the things that people are saying, but we know that this has not been the year that he can have or that was hoped for him. But that doesn't mean you can't finish strong and be a reason why this team makes the tournament.
Well, you're right, and you can only play the teams in front of you, not taking anything away. Like I said, the player of the game, I think, is Trevion Brazil. Texas is bad. They are not a good coach team. What do they do to pressure you at all? Like they have one guy that can shoot. They're almost like A&M. They got one guy that can shoot. The other guys didn't even want to shoot it. They're open and they're kind of like that's not a good coach. I don't know how. I don't want to talk about their coach or whatever, but just as far as what that product is right there, if you're a Texas Longhorn basketball fan, you have to be throwing up right now.
Well, especially considering you know that your best player is going to the draft and is going to be picked in the lottery, and he ain't back next year, right?
Who is he? Steph Curry? I mean, who is he? Trae Young from Oklahoma. You remember him a couple years ago? He was drafted with Luka. What's his comp? Is what I'm saying. I know he's an elite scorer, but he can't defend anybody. He's still just a baby. But that's how you're taking him, and you're going to say, well, maybe is he a Dame Lillard? I don't think so. He's he's off the ball a lot. He doesn't have the ball in his hand. Who does he? How all of a sudden is just because he can fill it up like that? He's a lottery pick.
Well, all I know is that he can fill the hole, and that's a skill that's difficult to teach.
He looks like he's 6'3", 185 pounds.
I shouldn't say. I shouldn't float out. He's going to be a lottery pick. I don't know how anybody's going to look at him the next level. I just know that he was a
joy to watch.
He nearly willed Texas to a win yesterday. Like it was just him. There wasn't anything else that any of them did.
It was just him.
So I got to give up on saying anybody's going to be a lottery or first round pick. I just know with as much fun as it was to watch Arkansas and then play with reckless abandon because I felt like they did, he was still the most fun player to watch. Just with a hand in his face, two hands in his face from 4 feet past the 3-point line, wherever. That would have been. It was almost like a 1-on-5.
Well, he got confidence, Phil. It's contagious. So in the second half, there was a couple times that he got lost in a. If we were switching, if we got caught on a screen, whatever. He got some easy looks. Got a couple, and then all of a sudden you saw it click. And the good ones do that. You give them. That's what I talk about. Like with Janelle Davis, get to the free throw line. If you're struggling. Get you an easy look, and he got a couple easy looks, and all of a sudden he's doing video games. James Harden, step back, hezzy, let's crow hop left, and then shoot, and they were all going it.
Well, it's good to see. I mean, like DJ getting the drive back, hitting a little bit of an outside shot. Big Z defending, rebounding. Team just really, to me, played exactly the way you got to play if you're down to 7. And this is independent of yesterday's win. It was a great win. It was a great night. Crowd stuck around afterwards. The crowd was a reason, I think, that they played as well as they did. And you beat Texas, which you're never going to get tired of, especially with it being the second time. But how many? Right now, you get 3 games remaining, three regular season games remaining before you go to Nashville. I think right now, I feel pretty good about them being in the tournament. Well, is Adu coming back at some point? Are you going to get Boogie back? There was still a hope that if there's postseason play, Boogie's going to be back with the team. The way that they're talking about Adu, I don't feel very good about his ability to return anytime soon. To me, it still feels like, you had to have that kind of performance yesterday. It's difficult to replicate that. Not saying that they can't. But wouldn't you just like at least one more? One more, because how many overtime games can you play this late in the season? Go to play a tournament in Nashville where if you win, you play the next day and the next day and then get ready for teams that know how to win ball games.
Well, in the tournament, teams you're going to play are going to be better than Texas. That's what I'm saying. Texas is not – they're not that good of a team. I think they're squarely on the bubble. I don't know who their last couple games are. But Texas doesn't scare you at all. In the 2 games you watch them play, I mean, we were more athletic. We have the better players, and our 2 best players aren't even playing. And who's recruiting their talent at Texas? I mean, it's T.J. Ford, LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Durant. You start listing players that have played at Texas, some greats, and man, they did not impress me at all.
You almost sound like the Bull Durham manager. How'd we ever win 16? But truthfully, you're right, because the outside of Trey Johnson, there's just not a lot there. I had forgotten. Did you realize yesterday we were talking about Arkansas versus Texas? And I don't think you or me or anybody else that had come in to talk on the show even uttered Tremont Mark's name. And then he was a 0 again yesterday. I mean, I don't think he was actually shut out. He scored 2 points. That just means he scored 2 points in 2 games against Arkansas. And Tremont can play. That's the thing. But even against Arkansas, he's offensively been a 0, which was a surprise.
I thought about it yesterday, but I talked about him before, and then I didn't want to. It was the announcer's jinx because I'm a Tremont Mark fan. You look at what he's done for the Razorbacks, Phil. You can't forget the work he put in for the Hogs. I love it, and he wanted to go transfer to Texas, and he's on another team that's 5-10 again. So sometimes you got to realize maybe you're not that good. He'll be overseas playing ball next year.
Yeah, go from a team that was
which that's amazing. He's a 1%er. You're going to go overseas and play professional basketball. That's amazing. He's just not an NBA guy.
But goes from a program in Houston that was in the Final Four last year there to 2 teams that. Well, Texas still can get to the tournament, but right now I don't know if they do. Yes, they are.
That's the thing. He was an All-American. Was he an All-American at Houston? He was. I know he's third team all conference coming in this year to Texas. I've seen him play. I mean, the dude can go, but he's just he's an average guy. He's an average player.
What'd you think about he was the one singled out by the student section to boo every time he touched the basketball? Which I don't know if that sat well with me just because of what you'd said. I mean, he gave his effort last year on a team where maybe you could question the effort sometimes. In Muss's last year, his effort was outstanding. He willed you to a few victories here and there, and you can't blame him for leaving. Everybody left.
Not at all. No, well, he wasn't asked to stay. Coach Cal didn't want.
Right.
He wasn't. He was the one that I wish that Landon Blocker would have been a guy that I think would. He's a hometown guy. You start looking at having some depth. He would be a guy that's getting better. He was a freshman the year before. That's the one I wish he would have kept. But you can't. This team's probably going to make the tournament.
It looks like they will. I think one more win, and I'll feel pretty much 100% about it. Better be a victory against South Carolina. South Carolina beat Texas. That's a sign right there, right, about Texas.
There you go. There you go.
Here's halftime for this Thursday. We get 3 guests. We'll have Brett Dolan at 1:15. He's got a ton going on, which includes tonight's Arkansas-Mizzou women's basketball game, baseball over the weekend against Charlotte, and whatever else he's got on his plate, which is one of the larger plates that we ever bring in here. Bubba Carpenter from Baseball Broadcast will join us at 12:15. Looking ahead to this Charlotte series, I want to get into a little bit on his thoughts on Kahio Aloy and how you get him into the lineup and maybe reasons why he's not starting every single game. And Dudley Dawson coming up in just a moment. Before we go to Dudley, though, I want to tell you about a new sponsor on Halftime, Wood Grill Buffet in Benton. If you're looking for the perfect choice to cater for your office lunch, company picnic, meeting, or family reunion, you could be looking for something light or a traditional meal. The team at Wood Grill Buffet can help you be a hero with your boss and coworkers. Eat with them Thursday through Sunday from 10:45 till 8:30. You can learn more about Wood Grill Buffet in Benton at woodgrillbuffetbenton.com. They'll have the entire menu there, all the hours, and their location as well. 501-778-9656, the number for Wood Grill Buffet in Benton. Now stay with Halftime. Dudley Dawson from Hogville joining us in just a moment.
This is Halftime.
5 seconds to go. Matt, right side. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Qualls with the dunk at the buzzer. It goes and Arkansas wins. It goes and Arkansas wins. Qualls with a 2-hand finish. Arkansas wins the ball game.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest on Saturday, April 26th. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please visit our Facebook page for more information or call our office at 479-452-2260.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come Get You Some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championships are coming to Fort Smith, March 6th through the 9th at Fort Smith Southside High School. See the best men's and women's teams in the GAC. Battle it out for an automatic bid into the NCAA Division II tournament. Get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference Tournament at GreatAmericanConference.com. It's the GAC Basketball Championships, March 6th through the 9th in Fort Smith at Southside High School.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hogville's Dudley Dawson with us on Halftime on a Thursday morning. And just like Matt had said, for those who are doing a lot post-game, hosting a post-game show, going to bed by 3:30, waking up early. Dudley, you must have done some of the same stuff covering last night's game. So how did you get enough sleep?
Yes. In fact, the new puppy slept in this morning. He's getting trained really well, so we're good. We're ready to go.
Great win last night. Team really seems to feed off the crowd's energy as well. That's 2 games in a row. I think you could say maybe the crowd is a main reason why they got over the top.
I think so, and obviously they're playing with some urgency. Also, things happened outside the arena last night in other arenas that helped them. I think that put themselves in a really good position. You win 2 of 3, I think you're definitely in. Maybe if you win 1 of 3, I don't know. But the fact that this to me was kind of like a little play-in game last night between them and Texas, because they would have split the series if they would have split the series. If Texas had come here and won, but now they have 2 wins over Texas. You've got a win over Georgia. If it's a head-to-head down at the end with them, and Oklahoma lost, which after they got a big win over the weekend, but they lost, and that's the one team that has a win over you that you might be looking back later on. But I think everything went well for them.
Dudley, what do you think? Everybody's talking about how this is the best conference in college basketball. 12 of the 16 teams make the tournament. I know I've seen somewhere where there was a projection of 13, and I don't think any time ever have 13 teams out of one conference made the tournament. How many teams do you think make the tournament out of the SEC?
I was looking at the standings and counting, and I think you can get 12 in there. I'm not sure about 13 because, again, you're looking at Oklahoma, some other ones. I think Vanderbilt has, pretty much assured themselves the spot, obviously, and Arkansas has slowly ascended those rankings over or standings over the other teams, and I think they've put themselves
6
in
and
good
4
shape.
in our last 10.
Yes, yeah. I mean, and that certainly was better than 1 and 6 in your first 7. So, I got to give them credit. The Coach Cal's done a great job, and again, they're playing with urgency. They played defense really well, even when a guy goes for 39. I thought they did a decent job on him, if that makes any sense.
Well, what have you seen with the progression of Nelly Davis? Because my watching him play the last 4 or 5 weeks, it's like he's going downhill a little bit more. He is our best free throw shooter. Doesn't mean you can't shoot threes, but keep attacking. It seems like we do attack. It seems like I don't know if maybe he got more comfortable once he had to take more of the ball handling roles with Wagner when Boogie Flan left. But Nelly Davis seems like he's progressing really nice over the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, and I do think that Arkansas hated to lose Boogie Flan. Of course, he was playing really well, but the jigsaw puzzle is fitting better right now when it comes to terms of Nelly Davis. As you said, he's going downhill more. He's making some shots early, and that's big for him because of the slump he was in. And he's a volume shooter, and while he's not just firing it willy-nilly, he is taking what I think are much better shots and much better shots in the flow of things. And by that I mean that the first shot may not be the one you need to take. It's the best shot, and I think he's doing that a lot better in this last stretch of games.
A lot of teams will talk about somebody gets hurt, you got to have the next man up mentality. It's just a little odd in this situation that the next man up in these cases are maybe the 2 biggest names that you got out of the transfer portal, because when Boogie got hurt, to me, that starts to coincide where Nelly started to turn things around, which I think had to have coincided with his wrist just feeling a lot better and getting back into the flow of being a basketball player. And now you got Adu out, and we don't know how long, and it looks like Jonas Adu is coming around as well, which means that his foot, which needed surgery, must be feeling good finally, and he's getting back into the flow. So it's like if you get 2 guys, your best players, and I think Adu and Boogie may be the 2 most talented players, but now you got the experienced guys that you've been waiting for who are now coming around.
Yeah, I agree totally. And also, I think you've got this great play from Carter Knox and Billy Richmond and those guys in the roles that they're in right now. They have both really come on since the first of the season. Those 2 guys weren't getting a lot of playing time at the start of the year, or not as much playing time as I know they thought they should be getting, and they've made some big plays, energetic plays, the kind that get both the crowd and the team going, and I think that's a big deal. I do think the whole Boogie Flan thing, everybody, as soon as Boogie Flan got hurt, everybody pitched him to the side, or most fans pitched him to the side, so that's not going to happen. I think there's something to a chip on the shoulder and being 1 and 6 and people telling you can't do something. And finally, the urgency switch flipped on for them, and they've started playing. It looks it looks from the outside like they care more. I know that's probably not a proper assessment, but it sure looks that way.
They're playing team defense better, and I think one of the things that I really like about this team is there's not a lot of selfishness. They play selfless. They are trying to make the right play, and that's 2 games in a row, Dudley, where if you were in the started 5, that you were efficient and you had double-digit scoring.
Yeah, and one of the key, I think, things in analytics these days is the plus minus in a basketball game, and we're seeing the guys who are in that shortened rotation now having a much better plus minus, and that that obviously is going to happen to you when you're scoring more points and you're winning. But I think that's been a key. Those guys that are in that rotation are putting out more positives in the minutes they've earned than the negatives. And again, I'm going to go back to I have never seen a team miss as many shots around the rim as this team did during that 1-6 start. They're finally putting those in, and not all of them are going down, but it's much better than what it used to be. I mean, that was just it was a quandary for them that they were getting good shots and they weren't going in inside at least.
Just listening to the tea leaves from the announcers and from coaches, I'm not expecting a Duthero back anytime soon, and maybe he'll be done for the year. I don't know. Do you have any information?
Not any more than anybody else has heard. It's kind of tight-lipped over there. The fact that they ruled him out was not that he wasn't even probable means that that's going to be, I think, a little bit like the Gage thing with Gage Wood. He's going to have to get comfortable to be able to play, not only healed.
All right, so then I see yesterday Z has a brace on his back when he's sitting on the bench. You could see he was holding it a little, and then Carter Knox was on the injury report as probable. I forget if it was Kenny Payne or if it was Coach Martin in the post game, because they both did post game talks. Who said something about an accident that Knox had, and he fought and got himself ready to play. So, you don't need any more injuries. Certainly, the nagging ones, you anticipate those will happen, but you got to have everybody that's healthy.
Yeah, everybody's got some bump and bruises right now, and because of the way you went about building this team, and really, pretty much saying you're going to have 9 players that play. If you've got some of those injured, that rotation is really short right now. I love the deal that the other guys are here for practice, but now it doesn't look like the best decision to me.
Hey Dudley, I want to ask you a little NBA talk since we're kind of getting down to it. Is the Eastern Conference a 2-team race? And I'm not hating on New York or Indiana, Milwaukee. I mean, I know there's some talented teams. But is it coming down to, are you buying in? I guess what I'm saying is, are you buying into Cleveland? Could they actually win it all this year?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think so. And the fact that they added DeAndre Hunter, I think, was great for them as far as the points he can bring and how he can match up with our wings in Boston. I do think that the Knicks have established themselves as a good team unless they're playing Boston and Cleveland. They just can't compete with them. And Oklahoma City, I guess, as well. I think they're 0-9 now against those 3 teams.
I won't be watching much NBA for right now. Probably not until the finals, if at that. But I won't be watching much.
Dude, I'm all about. I love my basketball, but I'm all about baseball. I'll have 3 TVs on spring training games at noon.
So anybody stand out for you? I saw Hagen Smith made his debut yesterday.
Yeah, and I had him on. I didn't realize he was going to get the pitch, but had him on. He did a really good interview after it was over with. I mean, he appears as confident in himself as I think he was here, and said all the right things. And they're going to bring him along. And much like you do in spring training, he'll have the opportunity to break camp with him. I don't think he's going to do that. Boy, they're going to get him up as soon as that they can in a situation. It's like a Razorback fest there now.
Yeah, I mean, you got Fletcher there too, and I know there's Michael Turner. So I think there were 5 players from the Razorbacks that were with the White Sox. But your Cardinals
Right.
got to find a way to get. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off on that.
No, I was saying Baltimore needs to go ahead and trade Heston over there. So I mean, he can get the time. He hit a hit yesterday, but they've just got too many jigsaw puzzles to get him regular playing time out there.
Doesn't it feel like he's a piece for the trading deadline? I thought he was last year too.
Yeah, I did too. And hey, I think he'd look great in right field in St. Louis, but we're not spending money. So.
Well, you guys are trying to trade Nolan Arenado. It doesn't seem like they can find a place for him to actually accept. That seems to be a pretty important piece for St. Louis to try to move on.
He is my favorite player, has been my favorite player for a while, even though he wasn't on the Cardinals. And I'm happy he's still with us, but I know that it's not going to happen down the line, that something has to happen probably at the trade deadline.
That's tough when your favorite player just has that precipitous drop, doesn't it? I mean, I've seen it with some of my favorite guys before. It's not fun to watch.
Yes, and even on defense, he wasn't as great defensively as he was last year. He was taking his bat to the field. So
gives you an appreciation for how long Brooks was able to play that position.
Absolutely. I mean, the greatest third baseman of all time.
Yeah. Dudley, we'll leave it there. Thanks for hopping on. Always appreciate you, especially after a late night. And we'll look forward to another conversation Thursday next week.
See you this weekend.
All right. That is Dudley Dawson from Hogville. And I'd forgotten, Dustin reminded me, Peyton Paulette, I think is also in the White Sox organization. He got his first action in spring training. Halftime is brought to you by Valley Family Dental, used to be known as Riley Farm Dental. They'll provide every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. And if you tell them that you have heard about them on ESPN Arkansas, you get $300 off a snore guard. Just think about that. Well, I usually am sleeping solo, so nobody's there to elbow me in the face and say, hey, I can't sleep. But a lot of you do have somebody that's in bed with you, and they're going to tell you exactly that. You need a snore guard, $300 off at Valley Family Dental if you tell them you heard about them on ESPN Arkansas. They'll do general dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics. Same-day crowns are available right now, too. Dr. Sparkman Farmer and Dr. Blaine Van Nice at Valley Family Dental. You'll have a comfortable experience every time, leave with a better smile and much more confident. They're at 5901 Riley Farm Drive, Suite A, the entrance to Riley Farm off Highway 71 in Fort Smith, 226-3500, valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. Now on halftime, 877-377-6963. Stay with us. Back after this.
This is halftime.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Welcome to NFL Flag. In this game, there's a position for everyone. No matter who you are.
Let's go! Show what you got!
Lace up your cleats, smear on your eye black, step out on the field, and start having fun. This is flag football, and this game is our game. Visit NFL.com to find a league and get playing today.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
It's the Salesman Showdown at Harry Robinson.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for
See Basketball Championships, March 6th through the 9th in Fort Smith at Southside High School.
your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The guy next to me has a gun and his own smiles are empty. It's real when the girl next to you says she loves you. Seems so unfair when there's love everywhere, but there's none for me.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Woke up this morning, grabbed the phone, looked on the news. First thing I saw was Gene Hackman died in his home with his wife and his dog. No foul play is suspected. I guess the family thinks it could be carbon monoxide poisoning. Dead at age 95. One of the greatest actors that ever lived, and maybe the greatest on-screen coach in the history of movies in Norman Dale. I mean, if I think of Gene Hackman, I think of Gravitas. I think of the sheriff in Unforgiven. But the first guy I think of, the first role, because this is the first place I would have seen him, and I would have been maybe 4 years old, Superman. He's Lex Luthor. He's always Lex Luthor. And I don't know any other role that he was bald in. But, man, he fit Lex Luthor like a glove.
So Jack Del Rio at Jacksonville, Gene Hackman came and talked to the team one day. It was like spring ball, summer workouts we get done, and he came up. You could fit him in the palm of your hand. I mean,
really?
When you say what's the Roadhouse line with your boy Patrick Swayze? I thought you would be taller.
Mm-hmm.
You thought he would. I mean, dude was 5'3" on his bed. I mean, when you're around a Jacksonville football team, everybody's bigger than the dude. So you're kind of putting it in perspective. But he was little bitty. But he was He was cool, man. My favorite, one of my favorite movies all time. If you were to say, hey, there's 100 books you have to read, there's 100 movies you have to see, Unforgiven with Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, Clint. That's 100%. That's one of them.
He always was good at playing somebody that wouldn't be very free with his emotions, and that's what Norman Dale was too. I don't know if I'd say that's what Lex Luthor was, but just a very sturdy character. Always any character he played to me always felt very sturdy. And then of course you can't help but look, we have all kinds of great moments in movie history where a coach gives a speech. This one has to be near the top of the list.
It's a tradition in tournament play, not talk about the next step until you climb the one in front of you. I'm sure going to the state finals is beyond your wildest dreams, so let's just keep it right there. Forget about the crowds, the size of the school, their fancy uniforms, and remember what got you here. Focus on the fundamentals that we've gone over time and time again. And most important, don't get caught up thinking about winning or losing this game. If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says, at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners. Okay? All right.
The Razorback basketball team at halftime last night with John Calipari playing Norman Dale. Yeah, everybody would be ready to run through a wall with a speech like that from that man. And remember how hated the character was when he first showed up. Rest in peace, Gene Hackman. Yeah, we had a caller remind us about Hackman in Young Frankenstein.
The Firm with Tom Cruise. That's and Gene Hackman. I thought that was a good one. Behind Enemy Lines with Owen Wilson. That was like a college movie, high school movie that
I think that was one of the last feature films he did, which was really entertaining.
Enemy of the State with Will Smith.
Mississippi Burning. He was a great comedic actor. I remember in Young Frankenstein, he played a blind man that the monster comes across, and it's just, he's hilarious. He was hilarious in The Birdcage. He was hilarious in The Replacements. And it just kind of, I guess, what was it, like 22 years ago, he retired and just moved off to New Mexico with his wife and dog.
Who's High Fidelity? Runaway Jury was one of the last movies I remember him in with Cusack. That if talking about buying a jury to win the that's one of the yeah. Hey, that's like your girl from The Shining that would play Dave Grohl in an autobiography. She just moved out to the woods and said, "This is it, man. That's what you do in life, right?"
It just hit me that she and Dave Grohl have identical hair. You're exactly right about her, about Grohl and Shelley Duvall. It's well done. And what is it about New Mexico? So I think it's like the artist communities. I keep reading about some artist communities in New Mexico around Santa Fe, Truth or Consequences, potentially. Tucumcari, which I don't know if I'm saying the name of the town properly, but it's one of those towns that's really fun to say. Christian, have you seen the movie Unforgiven? Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman, Gene Hackman. He won an Oscar for this movie. Hackman won 2 Oscars.
French Connection.
You're gonna have to
French
forgive
Connection
me.
was the first. That's the second one. So we're gonna have to. You are not forgiven for not seeing this movie, but it's now been assigned to you for the weekend.
Well,
You're welcome.
Hey, let's go. Those are 3 great actors right there.
Absolutely. And English Bob, who is in the movie Unforgiven, plays Joaquin Phoenix's dad in Gladiator. So that'd be a good, you'll be able to see it once you, I know, let's shoot some pheasant. You talking about that queen again, Bob?
Uh-huh. It's got one of my favorite characters, the Duck of Death, which is a really memorable scene.
Duck, I said. Duck, I said, right? Yeah, pick it up. Pick it up.
By the way, some
you didn't put your hand on the trigger.
Some listeners have texted in. Gene Hackman was 6'2".
Okay,
but you're 6'6", so
Dude,
a lot of people to you are going to be smaller.
Look, man, that's just what people do on these sites. Look at all these basketball players and their heights that are listed. Everybody, they got lifts in their heels. I don't know. Maybe he was 6'2", but he was little bitty.
I think he was really thin. Yeah, and Brandon can't. Of course, I can't forget Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. I was like 3 or 4 years old when the movie came out. I went to see that movie with my mother, and so everybody remembers Christopher Reeve, but Gene Hackman stole the movie. He was the best part of the movie. As great as Lois Lane was, as great as Superman was, and even in Superman 2, General Zod and the trio that came off the planet and all that. It was all Gene Hackman. So first and foremost for me, he's always Lex Luthor and just about nobody else, but he had a long career after that, and I still think Unforgiven probably is his best work. So, Christian, you are welcome for that one. B.A. Hogg says, can't leave out Crimson Tide. Absolutely. Him and Denzel getting into it face-to-face in the movie.
Was your boy McConaughey in Crimson Tide, or he was in one around that time? He was in it, but it wasn't Crimson Tide, was it? Yeah.
No, there were some of those submarine movies kind of
come
together.
out.
I think he was in one that was called U. It was a U-boat.
U-571 or
I think that's the one he was in. Yeah, and of course for the submarine movies, it all went to The Hunt for Red October, which isn't a 90s movie, and that's Alec Baldwin with Sean Connery. Alec Baldwin, Sean Connery on one side, Gene Hackman, Denzel Washington on the other side. Who are you taking in that submarine battle?
Celebrity death match.
Celebrity death submarine match. Even better. Now we get torpedoes involved in it. 877-377-6963. Quick and the Dead. He was so good at Westerns, too. Quick and the Dead with Sharon Stone, for crying out loud. And Royal Tenenbaums. That's right. Well, of course, that's the one B.E. sends in. That's one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen. Royal Tenenbaums.
Is it made by the same people that did Steve Azusu, Life Aquatic? Is that the type of film it is, where they're trying to be crafty and neat and clever? It's just a little too much that dry. Wes Anderson.
That's him.
Yeah, that's
the
same.
him.
I get. That's the
irony on top of irony on top
ridiculous,
of irony, to where you just kind of lose
it.
If
I don't
it a
fall
little
asleep,
bit.
I can't wake up. You're like, oh, okay, that's what we're chanting now.
That was a little bit of Royal Tenenbaums. It crossed my eyes a little bit, like I Heart Huckabees, which crossed my eyes and my toes and my feet. I think I got off track here. We are brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, right next to Baum. Baseball season right now. Great time that you realize the weather you're going to have for baseball this weekend. Get out on the Hog Pen. Got all your flags, got all your hats, got all your jerseys, your baseball tees at the Stadium Shop. Whatever you need for Razorback stuff, they've got it at the Stadium Shop. Local, family, alumni owned and operated. You can call Robert, Elizabeth, or Matt at 479-STADIUM. You can go online to shoponrazorback.com or just stop by next to Baum at the Stadium Shop. Make sure they know ESPN sent you. We'll break and wrap up the first hour of halftime after this.
Pat Jones, don't be so cool, dude.
This is halftime.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. You've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Razorback softball season is here, and Courtney Deifel and the Bogle Bombers need your support at Bogle Park this season. Single game tickets are on sale now, and you can secure your seat to watch some of the best softball in the country. Adult tickets are only $10, while kids get in for just $5. Head to ArkansasRazorbacks.com or call the Razorback ticket office at 479-575-5151 to purchase your tickets today to Razorback softball.
Looking to upgrade your boat? Now's the time with Honda Marine Buyer's Choice Sales Event. Choose up to $2,000 in instant savings or a 36-month Honda Care Protection Plan. That's extra coverage worth up to $44.60 included at no extra cost. This offer applies to all new 40 to 350 horsepower Honda Marine outboards now through March 31st, 2025. Don't miss this limited time deal at Heartland Honda Power Sports Marine in Springdale. Save big or get extra peace of mind. The choice is yours. Visit Heartland Honda Power Sports Marine today. Exit 72 from I-49 just north of Cracker Barrel.
When Second's making a play, Short's got it covered.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right cover.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
As we wrap up the 10th annual Miracles and Magic Mediathon benefiting Arkansas Children's Northwest, we want to send a huge thank you to our incredible sponsors, Crabtree RV, Slotsky's, Heartland Honda, Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center, and Ozarks Electric Cooperative. Because of your partnership, children right here at home will be better today and healthier tomorrow. And to our amazing listeners, your donations make miracles happen. Thank you for bringing hope, healing, and smiles to so many lives. This wouldn't be possible without you. Together, we're making a difference. Thank you.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Just see what I can find. Staying in the shadows with the light don't ever shine. One-way conversations with darkness in my mind. He does all the talking. Hit it down, pull him down. Let me see it, turn around.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Got a lot of texts that are telling us about the French Connection. I've not seen the French Connection. He played Popeye Doyle, Gene Hackman did in the French Connection, won his first Oscar for it. It is known to have you read about these things, that it's the greatest car chase scene in movie history. So maybe I need a little halftime homework myself, Matt. Might have to watch the French Connection before we come back here on Monday.
It's an hour and 44 minute, 1971. I've never seen either. Miss Betty was telling me about, like the Pareto Star movie, I think, that's in there, that, where he gives himself up as a sacrifice. I haven't seen that one either. She was touting that one though.
Roy Scheider's in the French Connection. He, of course, from Jaws. This is
we're going to need a bigger boat.
It's a New York movie where he's chasing. I guess it's the French Connection for drug dealers in New York City. So maybe might have to watch that over the weekend. Let's go to the phones. Greg's called us out of Farmington. Greg, I can hear you're in the car. What you got going on?
What's up, gentlemen? Hey, Gene Hackman was one of those generational actors because he could come out with a movie that any generation could associate with. You mentioned French Connection. I remember Behind Enemy Lines, The Firm, Hoosiers. My favorite two scenes in Hoosiers is where he tells the one kid, I want you playing that guy so tight, you tell me what flavor of bubble gum he's chewing, and I think the kid fouls out, and they're sitting on the bench, and he just glances over at him, and the kid looks at a strawberry. And then my other favorite scene in Hoosiers is when they do make it to the championship game, and they're doing their walkthrough at the gym. He drags out the tape measures, and he says, I think you guys will notice that these are the same dimensions as our gym back home in Hickory. I mean, Gene Hackman, Superman. You mentioned Superman. I mean, I could go on all day talking about Gene Hackman movies. Quick and the Dead. I mean, Unforgiven. I mean, I'm like you, man. I could go on all day talking about Gene Hackman movies. But anyway, hey, great win by the Hogs last night. So you guys have a great weekend. I'll be at the ballpark Friday and Sunday for baseball. So hey, let's get it on.
All right, thanks, Greg. Appreciate that. 877-377-6963 if you want to get with us here on halftime. If I'm thinking Hoosiers, I love the entire movie. Everything about the movie. And you can even tell, he's a fantastic actor because the kiss with Barbara Hershey, which to me came across as one of the most awkward kisses in movie history, that's a guy who obviously knows. Here's a coach who hasn't kissed a woman in a long, long time, and the kiss on screen looked exactly like that. They did it that way on purpose. It was very awkward. And I don't remember them kissing again. Maybe after they won the state title. All right, we go into the second hour of halftime. We'll have Bubba Carpenter joining us in 20 minutes for a baseball chat. Lots to get to. The phone lines are lighting up, and we'll be right back after the break.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves for kids up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny, cooler. Our highs this afternoon in the low to mid 60s. We're nice and clear tonight, and overnight low near 40. Friday, right back to sunshine, upper 60s, and then Saturday, a bounty of sunshine. Highs on Saturday, upper 50s to lower 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that's the perspective. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back in 1201 on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app. I am Phil Elson with Matt Jones and Christian Johnston producing. We'll be doing some baseball talk with Bubba Carpenter in about 15 minutes. And we're still picking up after last night's Arkansas win in overtime over the Texas Longhorns, 86-81. Game that felt like it was never going to end, but if you win, who cares how long it takes to get to the end of it. I'm just thankful, Matt, that basketball knows what it's doing in terms of overtime. It's as straightforward as it gets, more so than any other sport. 5 minutes, score more points than the other team, and if you don't, you lose. If you're still tied, we'll do this all over again, another 5 minutes, and try it again. Baseball's in a place where putting the Manfred man at second base in the 10th inning to me feels cheap. Hockey used to do ties. They've centered in on those shootouts, and that seems to be okay. Soccer too. The NFL can't figure it out. We got a sport in football where college does it one way, the pros do it another way, and now the NFL is trying to maybe change overtime once again to where both teams guarantee to get the football like they do in the playoffs. I just know. If you have rules for overtime in the playoffs and the regular season, to me they should be identical.
NFL, they what a crybaby to say both teams should get the ball in overtime. Listen, kids, you just had a whole entire game to win the game. That's not it's not the rules of overtime. It's such a weak deal that the NFL does. It should be sudden death. Go out and flip your coin and let's go. Let's go play. Trying to make it's like everybody gets a flower or a ribbon. It's the NFL, they really have dropped. You're right. The NFL really has dropped the ball on that. The time for making everything equals over. That was what the first 60 minutes of the game was for. It's in the overtime now. So the next one, that's why it's overtime. It's anxiety. It's gut wrenching. It's not everybody gets equal opportunity in overtime.
I didn't like the sudden death where you could win it with a field goal. I like the touchdown on the first drive and the game's over. To me, that makes sense. That means you went all the way down the field, you finished a drive. It's not just about the ability to kick a 50-yard field goal. And after that, I think sudden death is just fine. I don't mind the college football rules in overtime up until we're now just playing 2-point conversions. But it all changed, I guess, in the NFL's mind from that what was it? Was it Chiefs and Bills in overtime where I think
it was might have been Burrow, but yeah, one of the quarterbacks didn't get a chance to touch the ball, and they're like, my thing is, you just had the whole game too. That's not how it works. That's the rules of overtime now. It's not regular time. There's why it's different, but whatever.
Yeah, they say they may be looking at changing that up, but I was just thankful that basketball is just straight. You don't have to make any explanations.
Everybody gets 2 timeouts. It's fouls carry over. They don't wipe that. You would think they might even take fouls away. Especially that's what I got worried about when they said the start of that first overtime. Phil, your boy Nelly Davis had 4 fouls. So you're like, you want him to stay aggressive, and he's our best defensive player. Like get out of here. He is, and I know Johnson did his thing, but man, Nelly was making it tough on him for most of the game.
Don't you feel like I think he's back. I don't know if he'll be the 18 to 20 point game scorer that you thought you might have been getting, but right now I think he's exactly kind of what you need. A guy that can handle the ball a little bit, certainly can defend, gives great effort, fights through screens,
smart,
makes free throws when he gets there.
He's got a high basketball IQ that you can always work with. He's not the most athletic of our guards, but his mental ability, you can always work. I had a coach say that. He's like, I don't want players that aren't smart. Give me some smart players, and we'll coach them up.
I really feel like Nelly started coming around right when Boogie went down with the injury. And now Jonas Adu. I mean, it's been maybe a week to 2 weeks where he looks more confident. He looks he looks stronger. He looks more Gurr. He looks more like the guy that he was at Tennessee. And I don't think he'll be quite the same guy that he was at Tennessee, just like Nelly, not quite the same at FAU, but they're certainly rounding into form. They're rounding into form. They're to me, they're reasons that you're winning games right now. If you won 4 out of 6 and you're down to 8, then 7 players, everybody's had a hand in this. And that's got to be a good thing. Everybody that shows up, outside of the practice players who still wear the uniform during the game, they all know they're going to get a chance to play. And if you miss a shot or you made a mistake, you're not necessarily going to be pulled out of the game. And if you are, you'll get a chance to get back out there. So to me, it felt like a team that was playing not with reckless abandon, but freer and easier. It's just that first half to me that's what it was all about. A team that just looked mentally more comfortable and ready to go, knowing that they, some of them may play 35 to 40 minutes. They're perfectly okay with that. Why wouldn't you be?
When you played Alabama, then you had LSU, but then it was Texas A&M, Auburn, Missouri. You're looking at those. Texas is not a very good team. I mean, we got to take it for what it is. Texas isn't making a run in the tournament. They have a guy that can fill it up. Don't get me wrong, but that's it. That's not a. You got to take it for what it is.
Let's take Charlie for what he is, and he's our first caller here in the second hour. What's up, Charlie? How are you?
Well, Phil, if you really take me for what I am, I don't know how long this call is going to last.
I don't really know what you are, Charlie. I just know you're one of our loyal listeners, and I guess I could leave it at that.
Well, you could also say this. You guys are some of my favorite people, so how about that? And we always say family, but it maybe we don't know each other in person, but it feels like family, and that's what I've always wanted it to be. But I would say this, Matt, I was worried about UNC unit last night, or whoever was going to have to do this reaction show. What if that thing would have went into like triple overtime? You think you could have handled that? You would have been up. What time? You guys wouldn't have got on until midnight.
Be welcome to Hog Reaction 2:02 in the morning. Call us.
Yeah, like who's calling then? Matt's probably still he's probably still sleepy over there. C unit, you still tired over there, man? I mean, I know that was a long reaction.
I'm still young. I guess I'm making it.
C unit's energetic is a little bit more laconic than most other people's, though.
We're not calling Matt old. We're never doing that. But anyway, or Phil, because they're not. But here's the deal. Yeah, man, I was really proud of the squad last night, and I will say this, Matt. You know, the whole thing of Cooper Flag is going to be won. That's fine. But Trey Johnson, look, he had a game against A&M this year where he just kind of willed them to that win almost, I think, brought them back, and they won that game because of him. And the thing that I like about his game, too, like, of course, he can get on those heaters or whatever, but he's also a willing passer, and he throws the ball to his teammates, and they just like, I don't know what I should do. It's like, but I was glad last night when he was giving it up, Bill. I was praying as he was coming down the court, dear Heavenly Father, please don't let this guy touch the ball. Dear Heaven, don't let him get it. Because he had gotten so comfortable last night. And you know with great players, I mean, you see with guys like Kobe, it's like, it's no defense for that. You know, you can sit there. Yes, they could trap him a little bit, but you can't just leave a guy wide open under the goal or, you know, different spots. They were doing a good job with their spacing, and they were running him off of certain screens. It made it more difficult for us to double him. Also, I thought there was a couple of times, of course, I'm not blaming the officials, but Nelly Davis was staying on him, and that guy would come and screen Nelly, and he wasn't set. He was just knocking Nelly, and Nelly couldn't. I mean, there was nothing he could do. They weren't calling it. They were letting that go. And then he's stepping back and hitting in the corner in somebody's face. It didn't matter what you did last night because he was that on. But I'm proud of this team, Phil. You talked about it. Nelly probably will never – we don't need him necessarily to be the guy that averaged 18. But the way he's playing right now, you're right. I think he's just playing unbelievable basketball overall. And if all 7 of the guys – and look, TB last night, here's my thing with TB. He was a little bit testy too with the reporters last night. And look, he can sit there and say that he wasn't struggling a little bit from the mental aspect, but guys, we all know he was. And we all know this guy's talented. I mean, I think that when you're not looking over your shoulder, as you said, Phil, and you feel like, okay, if I do mess up, he can't really pull me as much, I hate that some kids think that way because, like, dude, if I'm in there and I'm getting my minutes, I'm doing everything that I can. But for TV, it should not be the fact that he made his first 2 shots, okay, now I'm going to play with some energy. Because TB should be able to bring energy with his athleticism and his ability anytime he's on the court, and it should not always be about making shots. And I think he lost some confidence. But that's the thing with these players sometimes, Matt, and you can speak on this. Because those first 2 shots went in for him, I think that woke him up a little bit. But I think for him, he just needs to play free. I think Kenny Payne said it after the game. Play free. Now, with Adu, it's not looking good, right? Phil Diero.
I mean, they don't tell us what's going on. Not even what the injury is. It's just listening or reading the tea leaves. They're almost preparing you for him to be out for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm praying for him. I'm praying for him. I hate it. I hate it for the team, but here's the thing. We got 7 guys now, and we got to roll with it. And then Big Z's back's bothering him, whatever. But, I mean, it's just we got who we got, and we are who we are, and people got to step up. And I'll be honest with you guys, Calipari this year, I could argue this is one of the better jobs he's ever done. If you just look at the whole situation as a whole. Anyways, I'm going to hang up and listen to y'all. Y'all have a good one.
I appreciate that, Charlie. Thank you. I think I don't have the team stats in front of me, but I just know Trevin hasn't started a game in a long time. So yesterday he gets the start, and whatever conversation Cal or the coaches have with him about this is what we need from you now that Adu is hurt and we're going to start you. That should be the thing that's energizing you. These coaches are putting you in there to that role. Instead of putting Adu out there, instead of putting, that's not where Billy Richmond can play, but just the fact that they showed the trust in him. I think he'd have played a lot no matter what, but because he's starting, I would hope that adds energy to him right there.
Player of the match, man. But it was his. I was proud of him. You 100%, man. You're always pulling for these guys, and he'd been in a little slump, and you got to pull yourself up out of it. And what you need is opportunity, and the opportunity came, and he took advantage of it. And so, the one thing nobody says about Brazile is consistent. That's
Right.
nobody. So can he be consistent? Can it be a normal thing? Can he do it against South Carolina at Vanderbilt? Can he do it against better competition after you get through South Carolina? I was proud of him, though, if he can be a little more consistent. Was glad to see him get that tip-in dunk, had an oop. I mean, he's an above-the-rim guy. Hit a couple threes, and like I said, player of the match.
So, Arkansas shot 65 free throws in 2 games against Texas. 65 free throws in 2 games. That's going to be their undoing, is their inability to defend without fouling. South Carolina shot 45 free throws against Texas. Wow. Yeah, you allow 45 free throws, you ain't winning anything. Let's take a quick call from Cecil. We got Bubba Carpenter coming up in the next segment. Cecil, how you doing? What's up?
Oh, man, trying to make this dollar on this paper chase. I just caught I know the gentleman's voice, but I just walked back in here, and I was hearing y'all talking about I didn't actually hear the name, but I said they got to be talking about Trevin. But Trevin, man, like if y'all remember, I've always supported him in Big Z. I think this is just my opinion on Trevin. He got injured. He was when he did the dunk a couple seasons ago, whenever it was. Everybody say Trevin. Then he got hurt, so we didn't see Trevin no more up until now. And then he's just playing a few minutes a game. His confidence level was way down because when you go in, he know he's the better player than he is. So just playing the game of sports, and your coach ain't got that much confidence in you because you go in, then you come out. He just needs to play the game. If he just he got a lot of playing time, so you really get to see what he can do. And I know Trevin can shoot from outside. So I think his confidence level built up. I don't know if somebody already said that. I'm sure they have, but that's just my opinion of it. And I support Trevin, man. But Big Z is my favorite player on Arkansas team. I love him, man. I love all of them, but Big Z is my favorite player. I like his style, man, and he's getting better and better. And that's all I got to say, man. I'm listening, working, and enjoying the show, man.
Cecil, it's good to hear from you. 877-377-6963. This is the most minutes that Brazile had played in a game since Arkansas went to overtime against Stanford in November of 2 years ago, 2023. He'd played no more than 27 minutes in any game this year until putting up 40 against Texas. So guys got to be pretty happy that he's out there playing, and he's going to be a very important piece to a team that's still on the bubble because February into March is not over yet. But I think right now you got to feel pretty confident that the Razorbacks are in. When you're looking for your next side-by-side, a motorcycle, an ATV, zero-turn mower, Wood Power Sports is the name to remember. They've got locations in Harrison, Springdale, and Fayetteville, and all the brands that you're thinking of. CF Moto, Honda, Hustler, just to name 3. And their 3 convenient locations also provide outstanding service and parts capabilities, even deliveries. You can go to woodpowersports.com to find their locations, all the brands that they will sell, and you can shop all of them right there at woodpowersports.com. They're a solid name you can trust. Bubba Carpenter joining Halftime in a moment. Stay with us here on ESPN Arkansas and hit that line.
This is Halftime.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The Dandy White Perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call, cleans it all.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
Us at 471-1771.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
What's better than getting something for free? Winning. And with the $5 bundle from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, you get the chance to do both. For $5, you get 3 tickets, a Powerball ticket with Power Play, a Mega Millions ticket, and a free Natural State Jackpot ticket. That's 3 ways to win. So ask for the $5 bundle today. Bundle is eligible with Quick Picks only. Offer ends February 28th. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Nobody was really sure he was from the house.
to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Arkansas baseball in action over the weekend against the Charlotte 49ers, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, second home weekend of the season. And, of course, Bubba Carpenter will be on the call for all the games. He'll be with me tomorrow. Nick Batters will have the play-by-play for Saturday and Sunday. Bubba, it's a glorious day for baseball today, and it will be tomorrow, too. How are you?
Oh, doing well, fellas. How about you guys?
Hey, Bubba, doing good. Can I ask you real quick before Phil gets in with some serious, lingo or whatever we're talking about today? What's your favorite Gene Hackman movie?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Probably, I'd have to say Hoosiers, and I also like the Western. What was the Western?
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven. Yeah, those are probably my two favorites. Hoosiers was really good, but I'm a big Western fan. I like Clint Eastwood, so
I'm going to guarantee that at some point, Bubba was on a bus with a baseball team, and Unforgiven was playing on the screens. That's a guarantee. Am I right?
Yeah, guaranteed. You've been there, right, Phil?
It was around that era when it came out. That's right. And ball players love westerns. They all like it's. I don't know if like the Latinos really love them, but the American kids, they love Western movies.
Said, I don't deserve to die. I was building a porch. Deserves got nothing to do with it.
So if we're talking about Gene Hackman, did something bad happen?
He died. He was found dead in his house with his wife and his dog dead too. The guess is carbon monoxide poisoning. He was 95 years old. Sorry to break the news.
Wow, I didn't know that. That sucks.
God,
Dang
I feel
it.
awful now. It's like I kicked Bubba's dog. That's
yeah.
I didn't want to be
especially
breaking
with
bad news.
The dog died too. That's horrible. Well, so let's talk about something better. Let's talk about baseball.
Yeah, let's talk about baseball. I want to talk about Kahio Aloy and exit velocity. So we get a little bit eyes glazed over. The exit velocities against Grambling were really impressive, but it's also Grambling pitching. But I also know that your ability to hit the ball hard quite often doesn't really have much to do with the opponent. It's about your strength. It's about your hand-eye coordination. It's about how quickly you can get that bat around. It's not so much about the competition, I thought.
Right. Well, the fact that he went 112, 111, 108, and 107 in one game, Phil, I don't know that I've ever seen a guy hit a ball that hard 4 times in a game. I think back about Hessenkerstad. I think he went over 100 maybe 2 or 3 times in a game. Jared Wagner would be another guy that really impacted the ball hard. I don't think he ever did it 4 times in a game. I mean, it's hard to do. When you're talking barreling a ball up, you got to barrel it up perfect. And remember, the threshold, even in the big leagues, for a hard hit ball is 95 miles an hour. So he's way over the limit there for the threshold for a hard hit ball. And so what he did was really special the other night. And I loved the interview after the game where he just I just go up there and look for a good pitch to hit. If it's inside, I hit it to left. If it's outside, I drive it to right. I mean, he just keeps it simple. And the thing I like most is Nate Thompson always talks about getting his best swing off. And up until 2 strikes, Kahio gets his best swing off. I mean, he doesn't get cheated up there, and I love it.
And he doesn't get cheated on pitches that are in the zone. I don't think he's going to let those pitches go by if they're, in his mind, a good pitch to hit. I want to get more into the idea of the exit velocity being something that's really important to hitting, because we'll focus on velocity of a fastball for a pitcher, but we always know that's not the end-all be-all when it comes to pitching. There's so much more involved in it. For me, all a hitter can do, you can try to do the hit 'em where they ain't and all of that placement hitting. It's just not – hitters go up with the idea that they're going to hit the ball as hard as they possibly can. And if you do that, if you hit the ball over 100 miles an hour, chances are you're going to reach base. To me, exit velocity means more to hitting than velocity means to pitching.
Oh, absolutely, Phil. I talked to Jared Wagner a few weeks ago, and he's in the Yankee organization, and they have a new stat. It's called hit what's it called? Hit FX OPS. And basically what the Yankees are trying to do is take batting average out of the equation. They don't even care about batting average. All they care about is hard hit balls and chasing pitches out of the zone. They don't want you to swing at pitches that are not strikes. So all this metric does is it evaluates those things. How hard are you hitting the ball? Now, the thing I don't like about it, like if you move a runner over from second to third, or if you take, like we talked about the unselfish at bat Brett Ardale had, where he hit the ball the right side and scored a run, you basically get penalized for execution hitting like that, which I think sucks, and I think that's missing in today's game. But it's all about how hard you hit the ball, the metric of how hard. Unfortunately, they factor launch angle in there, so you get penalized if you hit it 110 on the ground. You hit it 110 in the air to left center, you get bonus points. So it's a new metric, and I hope it doesn't take over baseball, but it really is. It's all about hitting the ball hard.
Well, his brother Vahiva is hitting it hard too, but he's hitting it really hard the other way. And looking at his numbers from this year to last year, you can tell just he's much more comfortable, but he's also using the whole field. He's laying off pitches that I think I saw him swinging at last year. So I think I've seen a jump in Vahiva as well.
Well, what's impressive, okay, so Cahill's ball that he hit 117 to left field, second deck, very impressive. Something that might be even more impressive was Vahiva's, he's hitting a changeup down and away halfway up the foul pole in right field.
Fair pole.
In a major league ballpark. Yeah, whatever. Don't even get me going. I'm still depressed about Gene Hackman, so we're trying to keep it positive here, Phil. But yeah, I mean that's more impressive, man. That swing right there, taking a pitch down and away and driving it off the pole in right field. How about that? And then the other ball he hit was deep right center over the fence. So to be able to go backside like that says a lot about his power, and that's why he's going to be a future big leaguer one day.
I know Dave has his reasons for why Cahill hasn't been in the lineup every day, even though he's got these crazy numbers in terms of just RBIs to at-bats, and every time he hits the ball, it results in an RBI. But it's about learning a position, right? And maybe showing that he can hit righties, which I think he started to show a little bit in a small sample. But it also shows, too, just how important I think they view getting Logan Maxwell going, the transfer out of TCU. So, I mean, managers, head coaches always say, well, it's a good problem to have. I guess Dave has a good problem right now.
Yeah, it is. It's a good problem to have. And, you know, these guys, the righty's going to be tested this weekend because I don't know if you've had a chance to look at Charlotte much. Their rotation's all righties. A couple of those guys are like your three-quarter style righties, fastball slider change guys. Typically, that's a tougher look for a right-handed batter. A lot of times, I haven't looked at the splits yet, haven't seen them, but typically righties do, lefties do better against those guys than righties do, unless he's got a plus changeup, then that's kind of the equalizer. But it'll be a big test for the righties this weekend, being able to stay on that slider. And, if you know anything about Robert Woodard, who's the head coach for Charlotte, he was a good pitcher back in the day, and his staffs are always known for good pitching. So it'll be a good test for us this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, but on the flip side of that, Phil Seebahar is their hitting guy. If you remember, Phil Seebahar was here a few years ago. So it'll be interesting to see how Seebahar's influence offensively, because he took a lot of stuff from Nate Thompson, because I sit in the hitting meetings with him, and Phil is really sharp when it comes to breaking down swings and matching up against pitchers. So it's going to be interesting to see how those two come together this weekend.
Feels like we really kind of dodged what could have been a big problem with the Gage Wood shoulder injury. A shoulder impingement, Dave says 3 to 5 weeks. I know it's a deep staff. I think the feeling is if somebody does go down, that there are enough quality arms, not just arms, quality arms, that you'd be able to paper it over. So you don't want to have to do that, especially with one of your weekend starters so early in the season and as good as Gage has looked. So hopefully they don't rush him back. I'm sure they won't, because Gage Wood, to me, looked like a guy that might have been a Friday starter for some other teams.
Yeah, I think so. And the thing with Gage is, if the doctor says 3 to 5 weeks, Gage is going to be wanting to throw in 2. And so they're going to have to really hold him back because he's a bulldog out there, and he's probably the hardest worker. It's hard to say because there's a lot of hard workers, but he's one of the hardest workers on the team. So, it's going to be hard to hold him back. But, boy, if it was going to happen, it's a good time in the year for it to happen. And if you're going to have an injury, that's a good spot to have it where Gage had it. So, we're going to get him back, and and we're going to be fine. I mean, look, we're built for that. I mean, you talk about the depth, Phil. It looks like I would assume Vital Cheese will slide into that last spot because if you look at the lefty-righty splits as far as hitting goes, they don't do as well. They don't swing as well against lefties. So I think it makes sense to put Vital Cheese in that Sunday role.
So you'll be with me tomorrow, but then Saturday, Sunday, and then the 2 games midweek against ULM next week, it's you and Nick Batters, who used to be the play-by-play voice for the Naturals. He's now doing the AAA team in Omaha and has been for the last, I think, 3 years, does great work. But this will be your chance for foul pole and, you can, I don't know, maybe you'll actually tell Nick that he's left his beer hat on his head instead of time how much longer he keeps it on when the bases aren't loaded. So I'm sure, will you stand above Nick with a bat and, almost look threatening too?
I won't have to, I don't think. I really don't because he knows the right verbiage to use. And
he's been intimidated by you already.
We've already been texting back and forth, so he's excited to come here. I think with Nick being here, I'll get 50% of the booth instead of just my 10% I get when you're here. I think he'll call the pole the right thing. The foul line will be the right thing. And by the way, 3 minutes and 25 seconds, that's a record, Phil, for the beer hat staying on your head after bases are not loaded. So we'll see if we can add to that when you get back in the booth. But looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night. I'm going to miss you, man, when you're not there.
Yeah, no, you won't. I'll miss you. I don't know if you'll miss me. Bubba, appreciate you coming on these Thursdays. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
All right. Sounds good, fellas. Thanks for having me. Go Hogs.
You got it. Bubba Carpenter on the call. Baseball, of course. Even if I'm not there, he'll be on the call. Crabtree RV Center celebrates 75 years in business as a family-owned business as they present the Greater River Valley RV Show, extending their sale with the lowest prices on all units. They got financing available on all the top brands like Coachman and Grand Design. It's Crabtree RV Center's Greater River Valley RV Show, extending their sale for savings for you and the family. You can find Crabtree at the junction of I-40 and I-49. There's exits off both interstates right by the Cracker Barrel, crabtreerv.com. After the break, we continue on halftime, so stay with us.
This is halftime.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
The referee looks at his watch, and that's half-time.
This is halftime.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest on Saturday, April 26th.
Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please visit our Facebook page for more information or call our office at 479-452-2260.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
What's better than getting something for free? Winning. And with the $5 bundle from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, you get the chance to do both. For $5, you get 3 tickets, a Powerball ticket with Power Play, a Mega Millions ticket, and a free Natural State Jackpot ticket. That's 3 ways to win. So ask for the $5 bundle today. Bundle is eligible with Quick Picks only. Offer ends February 28th. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Go out yonder, he's in the valley. Come downtown, have a rumble in the alley. Oh, you know, shake my head. Has anybody seen my lady? Just living alone. What drives me crazy? Oh, you know, shake my head. I'm gonna go down by the water, but I ain't gonna jump in, no, no. I'll just be looking for my neighbor. And I hear the bells singing. I've been selling. Now how in the world do you get to heaven? Shake my head.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
People have texted in that wondering how Brian is, what shape is Brian in Ozark in. I don't know. We haven't been taking any of his calls or even looking at his texts for, heck, it's been over 3 months now.
In the Texas game, that Monday, that next Monday, you know, are you going to pay your bet to Ty?
It's too late to do anything about it now.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's doing.
Or
does it really matter very much?
It's another good one on Tombstone when Kurt Russell tells Billy Bob Thornton's characters, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you were there."
That's actually the perfect way to just move on to something else. The Arkansas net ranking shape. How does this happen? I mean, I don't know all the equations that go into this. Texas went into yesterday with a net ranking of 39. Arkansas went into yesterday with a net ranking of 40. Arkansas beats Texas. Texas still has a net ranking of 39. Arkansas still has a net ranking of 40. But it's all right. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Keep winning games. The net will get where it needs to get. Although I was looking that, you remember the world's smallest violin, A&M Aggies from 2022? The team that had it wasn't an O for January, but they had about an O for about a month. 8-game losing streak, finished hot, didn't make the NCAA tournament. They were team 69 out of 68, and then they went all the way to the NIT championship and lose to Xavier. That A&M team had a net ranking of 36, and they were left out. So I think that's the best net ranking for any of the Power 4 or back then 5 teams to miss the tournament. So I'd say if you get within 36, I'll feel really good about it. But right now, I already feel really good about it because the SEC this year is better than it was that year. Matt, that A&M team missed the NCAA tournament with a 9-9 SEC record. You go 9-9 in the SEC this year, you're not only you're in like Flynn, and you'll be seeded. You'll be seeded fairly well.
Yeah, I mean that what was that, 3 years ago, 2 years ago? The conference is definitely you add Texas and Oklahoma. I don't know how much they help us in basketball right now, but they're still, I mean, those are big time programs. They definitely help in football. I guess that has a little bit to do when you add Texas and Oklahoma, you get another spot or two.
Oklahoma, I think, has fallen off the bubble with their play of late, and Texas better watch out. I mean, it's a team that's trending in the wrong direction. If you're trying to make it to the tournament, and looking at their next few games, Georgia coming off a big win over Florida, Mississippi State kind of struggled, and they get OU, who at that point, who knows what's up with OU because, yesterday they got drubbed by Otega Owe, who had transferred from OU to Kentucky, and then I think he put up 25 against them yesterday. That would have hurt if Tremont Mark would have had one of those games against the Hogs, and he had 2 chances. But that's crazy because he was playing. It's not like he was on the bench in either of these games. Tremont played 2 games against Arkansas, started both of them, and scored a total of 2 points.
You know, if he could have squeezed the lemon just a little bit, Texas could have won last night. Like it was, he's getting no juice. It was weird to watch and seeing him as talented as he was for the Hogs, and then Hogs put the clamp on him, and he didn't do much. I mean, he had a couple open shots. He had an easy shot here, kind of looked for a foul one time, and they just weren't going in, and kind of a little frustrated. But yeah, he did. You're right. He had plenty of minutes to make his mark, and couldn't do it.
How about Adu dropping a couple of free throws in overtime when you needed to make your free throws? He's coming around. He is coming around. I feel a lot better about Jonas Adu. He's not a 0 now. It just took some time to get there. I still feel like I know you can make a run with 7. I know that's happened. You can point to even Cal's Final Four team with UMass. I think they were down to like 6 players. I know it can happen. I'm still skeptical about the idea of this because of the word that you brought up earlier in terms of Trevor Brazile. Consistency. Consistency, you have to have something positive from everybody who's going to be out there and play consistently for the remainder of the season. There can't be any more disappearing acts. A disappearing act by Trevor Brazile yesterday, and you lose. A disappearing by Jonas Adu yesterday, and you probably lose. Any of the 7 that got on the court, if you have a 0 or you just add one of those rough games, there's a good chance you lose that game. Now, what about when you're playing against a team in Mississippi State that's won more games than Texas and is a better team than Texas? What about if you make the tournament and you get to a second round and you're playing a team out of the Big Ten or the ACC and they know how to win games, and you got to have consistency, and that's the next thing you got to hope for here. Is the turnaround, which started with the win over Kentucky, was a legitimate turnaround. I question whether it was legitimate or not. It was a legitimate turnaround. Now, with Adu out and maybe out for the remainder of the season, Now it's about getting consistent production from every single player that gets on the court because there's nobody else that's waiting in the wings to take over.
You know, every time that tape's running, you're being evaluated, and you're preparing to, a culture. You're preparing to have some of these kids back next year as well. So when newcomers come in, they know what to expect. It won't be a shock. So hopefully next year they start off a little bit better. But that's what it is. It's just an opportunity for guys to step up and to play. And like me and the unit we're talking about last night, I mean, these guys have talent. I mean, they're athletic. When we play South Carolina, we'll have better athletes. When we play Vanderbilt, we'll have better athletes. When we play Mississippi State, we'll have better athletes. So it's up to them.
Hey, I want to tell you about the Rebel Live Flex series. It's built on Rebel's legacy of innovation. Comes the all-new Rebel Live Flex Premium Soft Plastics. Live Flex series includes designs that mimic natural prey like crawfish, insects, and baitfish, and it's designed for smaller water and multi-species anglers, but it's built to excel everywhere. The secret is their Live Flex material. It's scent-infused, durable, flexible, and buoyant, and it delivers a natural, lifelike action that fish just can't resist. Get yours at Walmart, Bass Pro, Dick's, and local tackle shops all over the place. 877-377-6963 to get with us here on Halftime. Back to wrap up the second hour right after the break.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
This is Halftime.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is already chipping away at 2025. With Joe's Chips and Salsa, made with Tex-Mex house-made salsa, made daily with fresh veggies, even carrots. Try their sizzling fajitas and crunchy tacos. Every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. Joe's has great enchiladas with homemade sauce. It's the best around. Plus a full bar and TVs all around the restaurant. The best Tex-Mex and even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Got a pest? Call West. If you have pest or termite problems in your home, call West today and learn how their 50 years combined experience can help solve your problems with competitive pricing and quality services, all designed with your pets and children in mind. Call today and schedule your free estimate. They even offer Saturday services and long life attic pest control. Call 782-7291. West Termite and Pest Control, protecting your home health and peace of mind.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championships are coming to Fort Smith, March 6th through the 9th at Fort Smith Southside High School. See the best men's and women's teams in the GAC. Battle it out for an automatic bid into the NCAA Division II tournament. Get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference Tournament at greatamericanconference.com. It's the GAC Basketball Championships, March 6th through the 9th in Fort Smith at Southside High School.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Want a golf course quality lawn? It's easier and more affordable than you think with TruGreen. As the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, TruGreen brings pro-level expertise straight to your yard, so your lawn can look like a fairway. Sign up by March 10th and get one free application. Plus, you'll get TruGreen's price match guarantee. If you're not satisfied, TruGreen will revisit your lawn between scheduled visits to make it right. Visit TruGreen.com today to get a free application. Offer ends March 10th. Restrictions apply.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
As we wrap up the 10th annual Miracles and Magic Mediathon benefiting Arkansas Children's Northwest, we want to send a huge thank you to our incredible sponsors, Crabtree RV, Slotsky's, Heartland Honda, Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center, and Ozarks Electric Cooperative. Because of your partnership, children right here at home will be better today and healthier tomorrow. And to our amazing listeners, your donations make miracles happen. Thank you for bringing hope, healing, and smiles to so many lives. This wouldn't be possible without you. Together, we're making a difference. Thank you.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
All things before my eyes, Death teach me to despise. Will time make man more wise? Within my lonely brain, my eyes just hurt my brain, but will it seem the same?
Back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Today in sports history, guys, the only time it's ever happened in college football history, I don't know if it happened in college basketball, though there was a gambling scandal at CCNY that they may have done this with. SMU football was handed the death penalty today in 1987. That, of course, involved the Pony Express, pay for play. There was no SMU football in 1987 or 1988. And the Southwest Conference those years went from a 9-league team to 8. And it took 20 years for SMU to finally make a bowl game under June Jones. They played in the Hawaii Bowl 20 years after they returned to Division I football. It's never happened since. And I thought that if Penn State wasn't handed a death penalty for even one season for all that happened with Sandusky, you'll never see the death penalty ever again. And now it's all legal. All the stuff that SMU got popped for is all legal now. You know, instead of having a gold, what was the car that Dickerson had?
Was it a Trans Am?
I think it was a gold Trans Am. Yeah. Now they just got Lambos lined up for them at their official visits.
They don't even take TV money right now just to come into the ACC. SMU has more money than everybody, it seems like.
And it's private donorship money as well. That's right. And kind of feels like they got some staying power. But they got money for making the college football playoff. They certainly got some money for that. Also today, Tony Gonzalez celebrates his 49th birthday. Greatest tight end in the history of the sport, Matt. You'd be on the short list, that's for sure.
Man, it'd be hard, if somebody said, yeah, I mean, top 3 for sure. I think Gronkowski has to be in that list. I think Antonio Gates, those 3, man. I think that would be. Is there anyone else? I know there's a lot of great, tight ends to play this game, and it seems like the tight end position is definitely more valued now than it was. It's a little bit different, I guess, but yeah, man, I think those 3 are up there. Sterling Sharp.
And James Worthy turned 64 today. And I always think of Worthy on the Showtime Lakers just delivering the dunk on all those fast breaks.
Jimmy Graham, he'd be another one I'd like up there in the list.
Travis Kelce, maybe. Postseason, that's for sure. We go into the third hour of halftime. 877-377-6963. And Brett Dolan will be joining us in about 20 minutes. So stay with us on this beautiful Thursday.
I'm new in town, but not new to Oklahoma law. Hi, I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. I've been licensed to practice law in Oklahoma for 13 years, so it was time to put down some roots. Smack dab across from the Sequoia County Courthouse in Salisaw. We offer low flat fees and payment plans to fit every budget. So if you need a lawyer, drop by, check us out online, or call us at 918-238-2363. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear?
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
It's the Salesman Showdown at Harry Robinson's. Salisaw Ford. Troy's got his staff competing with each other for great prizes for them. Here's the best deal for you out there listening. Matching down payments and up to $13,000 off during Truck Month on Ford F-150s.
Yes, and Tommy, that's not all that we have going on. The new Expeditions, the 24s that we have left in stock, up to $10,000. We've only got 2 of those left. These 24 F-150s are up to $13,000 off of MSRP, and we're going to match your down payment of up to $1,500. So take advantage of it. Right now is the time to buy.
And Expeditions, if you need a full-size SUV to haul the family, haul whatever, these Expeditions are deeply discounted.
Yes, and not only are they discounted, we're going to match your down payment of up to $1,500. So your $1,500 now turns into $3,000.
Matching down payments up to $1,500. It's the Salesman Showdown. Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny, cooler. Our highs this afternoon in the low to mid 60s. We're nice and clear tonight, and overnight low near 40. Friday, right back to sunshine, upper 60s. And then Saturday, a bounty of sunshine. Highs on Saturday, upper 50s to lower 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Fight like hell for the University of Arkansas the entire time that I'm the head coach.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
Good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Smith, I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What ain't but one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
All right, into the third hour on a Thursday, 101 on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson, my partner Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing, Brett Dolan about 15 minutes. So if you want to get in right now is the time, 877-377-6963. Reacting to Arkansas's overtime win over Texas, the death of Gene Hackman. You got a baseball series coming up Tomorrow, women's basketball in action tonight against Missouri. Mizzou's coach, Robin Pingeton, announced yesterday that she will be stepping away from the program after the season concludes. Arkansas and Mizzou just 2 wins so far in the SEC. Be the end of her 15-year reign there with the Tigers. And to me, that's just about most of. I know there's a lot else happening: softball, gymnastics, and the NFL Combine starts today in Indianapolis, and so that's the next step in the year-round coverage of the NFL. There was an official media dust-up yesterday at a Starbucks in the JW Marriott Hotel in Indianapolis. This dust-up occurring between Ian Rappaport of NFL Media and Jordan Schultz of Fox. They were face-to-face, screaming at each other in a Starbucks inside the Indianapolis JW Marriott. It got so bad where NFL security was alerted to it. They've interviewed both parties, other people who were witnesses to this verbal throwdown. And I guess it all centers around a report that Schultz said that Matthew Stafford met with Tom Brady in Montana. Rappaport played it down as a chance meeting. They disagreed about it. Schultz went up to Rappaport, who was in line to get coffee, and said, "We got to talk." He said, "No, we don't." They end up getting face-to-face and nearly came to blows. That's fun when the media are fighting, almost literally going to blows at a Starbucks where they are covering the Combine. And, man, that's not even any of the stuff that'll happen on the field. Matt, football's a contact sport, but it's not supposed to be between the media members.
He's like, congratulations, you're stupid in 3 languages. Don't you know all these sizes mean large? Tall means large. Grande Spanish for large. Venti actually doesn't mean large, but it does mean 20.
Well, and he ought to know, too, because Schultz, who reports on the NFL for Fox, is the son of Howard Schultz, who was the longtime CEO of the Starbucks Corporation. So it's like he picked his dad's office as this place to have the fight with his number one enemy. It's like it would be like me dragging some high school bully to my father's dental office and saying, "You know what? Shut up. We're sitting you in the chair here." A little bit different, I guess, at a Starbucks.
Matthew Stafford's a top 10 quarterback in the league.
Still.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That doesn't come around very often, as far as there's I bet you there's a few teams that think they're a quarterback away. Do you get him if you have a young guy? Like if you're Minnesota, would you say, "Hey, look what Sam Darnold just did. Let's go get Stafford and we'll still let J.J. McCarthy learn for another couple years?" I mean, imagine Stafford on that Minnesota team.
I just also don't. So if he is meeting with Brady about potentially going to the Raiders, are they a veteran quarterback away from contention? The players on the Raiders, by the way, seem to really like the ownership and everything that it comes to. So maybe that's a place that they end up getting some free agents to sign. I'd love Stafford in Pittsburgh, truthfully.
There you go.
I think it would fit. I wonder if Cooper would you be sending, because Kupp is getting traded. Stafford's requested the trade. Do they get dealt to the same team? How many draft choices can you get for both of them that are near, I don't know if I'd say like near the end necessarily, but they're certainly on the backside of their careers. I just love the idea of these two TV reporters going at each other face to face and actually having to have NFL security interview them about it, as if it was some big like security incident, but it's kind of entertaining.
He's 37. He was the number 1 overall pick in the draft back in 2008. So
still as accurate as it gets too.
It's just kind of, does he want to? I mean, he's always had that strong enough arm. He's athletic enough. He might have 2 years left. I don't see him. I mean, the way the quarterback rules are, you stay healthy, and like I said, if he still wants to, he could 2 or 3 years left.
And watching him, that's not a reason why the Rams lost in the playoffs. I think Stafford's just as accurate as he ever was before.
I think the Rams would have beat the Chiefs as well. When you start looking at that game, the Rams were closer to beating the Eagles than the Chiefs were.
So if you're Los Angeles and you're considering trading your franchise quarterback, who you already traded for, what was that, 4 years ago? What are you asking in return? I mean,
and he brought you a championship.
you got to get a draft choice where you can actually draft a quarterback in that case. So, I don't know who the Rams could move up to in that case. I'd say, I do wonder a little, and I've read about Jackson Dart, the former Ole Miss quarterback, maybe rising a little in some scouts' eyes. I like Dart's skill set, Matt. I wonder what you think about his arm strength and whether he could fit in the NFL.
Yeah, you'd like to see. I'd like to see him throw with the 7 other quarterbacks that you think that are going to be the first 7 quarterbacks taken off the board. I didn't see enough, but I like Quinn Ewers more than I like Jackson Dart, and nobody likes Quinn Ewers. I don't know if he does have the arm strength. I just don't. I think he's better than Spencer Rattler. I'll put it that way. And Spencer Rattler started a couple games in the NFL, but I don't. Right spot. What kind of? I don't know that his arm's strong. You'd like to see him in practice and going against guys like that.
Well, I know he doesn't have Matthew Stafford arm strength. It's
not a lot of people
kind
do.
Of arm. Yeah, right. It's not that kind of arm. So you see where the Browns and the Titans are disagreeing as to how they view Travis Hunter in the NFL. Both, of course, could take him potentially, depending on who goes number 1 overall. The Browns say they view Hunter primarily as a wide receiver, and the Titans coach Brian Callahan says he sees Hunter as a starting quarterback who could also play wide receiver. I don't think he plays both positions for very long, but I do think that you might be missing out on the chance for something truly special if he doesn't at least get the chance to play both ways. But I also know that chance goes along with added injury concerns too. So, but it is interesting that these two teams who have the first and second pick are viewing Travis Hunter in completely different ways.
It only takes one team to fall in love with you. That's for sure. I see him as a corner. There's more receiver. It's easier to play receiver than it is cornerback. And if he's a first class cornerback, I mean that's where he plays, and you're able to shut down parts of the field. You're able to take away certain players. But 100%, you'll have a package for him on the offense. If it's a 2-minute package, if it's a third down package, if it's an 11 personnel package, I mean, there'll be something crafted. I mean, you get talent out there on the field, and he doesn't know any other way. It's kind of, when I got to the University of Arkansas and football got over, you go to basketball, and everybody's like, oh, I can't believe. Yeah, it's like, well, I didn't know any other way. That's how I'd always lived my life. Was I play football, then I play basketball. That's all he's done.
But it must have felt so odd, and then therefore it would feel weird for Hunter if he doesn't play the other things. Like you find, what am I going to do with myself here? While those guys are on the field, he never spent any time on the sideline.
You got a kick returner, you got a punt returner. I mean, there's ways to get him in there, and they're just it's just how you're evaluated, and I don't know that I trust the Browns a lot when it comes to evaluating talent, and probably the Titans as well.
Well, now the Browns are saying they're not going to trade Myles Garrett.
Now that's the smartest thing they've done in a while. The only way I trade Myles Garrett if I get 4 first-round draft picks.
That's exactly right. And use one of those draft choices to draft a quarterback that hasn't been on two. I'm not going to get into the massage thing. There's no reason to do that. 877-377-6963. Next week at Fort Smith Southside High School, March Madness. It's the Great American Conference Basketball Championships. Best men's and women's teams in the GAC going to battle it out for the GAC's automatic bid into the Division II tournament. You can get tickets and more information for the Great American Conference tournament at greatamericanconference.com. GAC Basketball Championships, March 6th through the 9th at Fort Smith Southside High School. Now stay with Halftime. Brett Dolan joining us after the break.
This is Halftime.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on, skied in the left. That ball's hit pretty well. It is gone.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call cleans it all.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for
gas station and convenience store in the region.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're live at First Financial Mortgage with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan was my mortgage lender here. And Ethan, between you and Emily, over 2 decades.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of experience here to help you get closed on a home really quick. We offer custom financing available through VA, FHA, RD, and conventional loans. First Financial Mortgage has a great history of lending in the area. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
All the waiters in your grand cafe leave their tables when you blink. Oh, every dog must have his every day. Every drunk must have his drink. Don't wait for answers, just take the chances. Don't ask me why. All your life you had to stand in line. Still you're standing on your feet. Oh, all your choices made you change your mind. Now your calendar's complete. Don't wait for answers, take chances. Don't ask
ask me why.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
We didn't get a chance to visit with him last week. He was, I think, up in the air somewhere. In an airplane. Don't worry, it's not a catapult. Brett Dolan joining us on Halftime for a Thursday hit. And where in the world are you today, Brett Dolan?
Well, Bud Walton Arena for now, because we both have the women's basketball game tonight, and then I'll be gone at like 5 a.m. tomorrow for another trip and more baseball. But it's that crazy time of the year that you and I both love, and also it takes a chunk out of our mentality after a while with all the games and all the overlap.
You got a college baseball weekend. You got perfect game. What do you got going next weekend?
Now, this is the big college baseball weekend in Minute Maid, and we have a great field this year. Tennessee and Texas A&M, obviously, they won't play each other. Mississippi State, Oklahoma State, Arizona, Rice, I think, are the teams. So I've got 5 of the 9 games, and we're kind of lucky. MLB Network is picking up a couple, and they're going to take our Friday night game and play it back at, 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and then they're going to carry our game Saturday night live on the network, I believe. So going to be a fun weekend of a lot of college baseball indoors, or we can pop the roof, I guess, if it's nice. But always look forward to this event. I think I've been part of it for about, a decade maybe.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. I love that ballpark, too. When did they take out Tal's Hill, that goofy mountain in center field, when they first opened the ballpark? And I thought, what are we trying to do here? Why are we creating an injury for people? They did away with that like 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, maybe a little longer than that. New ownership took over in 12. I think they left it for a year or two, so maybe 13 or 14-ish. And I think, in fact, when Arkansas played there, and it may have been, was it 2020 during COVID, Heston Kjerstad hit a homer off the batter's eye, which would have been kind of near the hill back then. So I don't know if it would have stayed in play. Probably not with his juice. But I think when Arkansas played there last, that hill had been removed for several years.
You think? Go ahead, Matt.
Well, I was going to ask a combine question, and Brett, I know you got to see a lot of amazing talent, with your profession, and I was kind of looking over. So you think, well, let's just take a kid from Georgia like the Philadelphia Eagles do, and it seems to be working out. In the last year, the last 2 years, if you think Jalen Carter 2 years ago was a can't miss, had some off the field issues, falls to 9. Brock Bowers, all he did was set all the new rookie tight end records. That being said, who are 2 or 3 guys that you covered this year that you think, man, these guys are can't miss guys this year in the NFL draft?
Well, maybe it's just timely, Matt, but the one guy who I thought was incredible, seeing him the last couple of years, was Abdul Carter, and I guess some news has come out on him in regards to maybe some injury concerns or whatnot, and I don't know what that will do to his draft stack. I'm sure it depends on what the physicals look like, but he was one. So I don't know if we're going to see a few more guys during this combine where, whether they get a chance to meet with some of the NFL personnel or whether there's some concerns about their performance or their medicals. But he would have been one at the top of the list. And last year I felt like it was a little bit easier because the guy like Daniels coming out of LSU was exciting, and there was that quarterback conversation. It feels like it's a little bit of a different draft this year, maybe as far as maybe a few more non-position players in there. But, Carter would have been one I would have thrown in my top 2 or 3, but I guess we'll see what happens with him and whether or not he falls down the board a little bit.
You think if you need a quarterback and you're choosing between Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, do you have an opinion on who it is that you take in front of the other?
I guess if I have to pick one or the other, I might take Ward, and I don't know why I throw that answer out there. The one thing I think Ward always was a little bit different for me from his style and a little nonchalant, extending plays and maybe making 1 or 2 bad throws over the course of a game. Shedeur Sanders, I saw him early, and when I did see him in person, it was probably one of his worst games. Nebraska shut him down early, and I know he put up some big numbers in his own conference later on in the year. He was at the Shrine Bowl when I was there for that event about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but he did not play in the game. So I think originally maybe the intent was for him to play, but then as he was looked at as a top 1, 2, or 3 pick in the draft, he backed out. So I would probably lean Ward, but I don't do it with great confidence. I think both of them are probably a little bit below some of the quarterbacks that have been taken that high in recent years.
With I was doing a little research, and you look back, it was 20-something years ago, but LaDainian Tomlinson was at TCU, and I know running backs are viewed a little bit different, and I don't think Alshon Genty's as good, or they're different style running back than LaDainian Tomlinson is. But, you look what he did at a smaller conference and the records he set, and then was still able to have success. Do you think Alshon Genty is a can't-miss prospect?
I don't know if he's can't miss, but I think he's going to be the rare running back that's taken mid to late first round, possibly. I was always intrigued by him, and maybe I paid a little more attention this year because as a first-time Heisman voter, I felt like I needed to see this kid a couple of times. He has a unique stance. He runs with a determined ability that obviously broke a lot of tackles, a lot of yards after contact. Again, we don't get to see him against power teams a lot. They did play Oregon early in the year, and, of course, they had their playoff game late, but I think he's pretty good. I won't discount him for playing against his conference or his competition. Not a big guy, and again, not everybody has the appetite for taking a running back high in the draft, but I think he certainly has that potential.
Big win basketball last night. Brett had to go into overtime to do it. Sweep Texas. I think you kind of it feels like you had to have that win yesterday. It's just, without ado, down to 7 players. Right now, they're playing. If you're down to 7 and you beat a team, when you got to win. I think this team right now, I don't know if they're playing best basketball of the year, but they have an opportunity to. Why do you think they play so well after somebody gets hurt? Because right after Boogie's injury, they go on to beat Kentucky, start this little string of 6 wins in 10 games, and then yesterday you could just see they came out and believed that they could win without Adu Thero.
Well, I think so, and maybe they're just playing better in general over the last month, and I think part of that has to be their defense. Now, they're going to give up some shots at the rim and points in the paint because they really do pressure teams. Even going back to that Auburn game, Phil, I felt like there were times where each of those teams went through a 3-minute stretch where they simply couldn't execute a 10-foot pass around the perimeter. And Arkansas, sometimes they were deflecting balls away and knocking them away. Auburn made some careless passes. I felt like last night Texas really had to work to initiate their offense in the first half. Arkansas outscored them by, I think, 12 in the first half. And then in the second half, Arkansas went back to their not being able to make shots ways, and I think they went from 42 to 27 points, but they defended well. And even though Trey Johnson got hot and he missed 2 shots that would have won the game in the last minute, maybe Arkansas dodged a bullet, and sometimes you need to get a little bit lucky, and you'll take it. But, I do think they defend and they make you earn it offensively. And I don't know if a tighter rotation helps. They don't foul a ton when they only have 6, 7, 8 guys on the floor, but they still find a way to play hard. And I think they can frustrate some teams. Clearly, they held Auburn to a point total that you ought to be able to win that game if you can make a few shots and you can score. And they didn't do it. But they did score a few more last night, and they kept Texas, for the most part, I think, for about 30 minutes from being able to do much offensively.
Red, do you think there's a team, when you look, who's your 4 seeds, your 4 number 1 seeds right now? Because I don't see a team like UConn the last couple of years where you're like, hey, man, this is the team, and they're going to win it, and it's really not even close. I think it's a little more wide open this year. I do have Auburn and Duke. Those would be 2 of my 4 number 1 seeds. Who are your 4 number 1 seeds right now?
I would probably put Tennessee. I might rephrase that. I would put Houston in that mix. I think they're playing hard enough where I think if they can end up winning their conference tournament, that might be a good selection. Florida was kind of moving up my list pretty fast, and then they throw a stinker out there too. So I think if you had to go now, you'd obviously put Auburn out there. Duke would probably get some consideration, although I think their quad 1 wins is a different story compared to the competition they face in their conference, but I think at least they've earned it. But I think Houston's probably one of those teams that might find its way in that mix too.
I like Houston. I think I'd throw Alabama back up there right now.
They might have to be.
Auburn,
yep.
Duke, Houston, Alabama would be my 4 now.
I think that's good, but I do think we're going to be in this mix where maybe from 3 to 12, as far as the rankings, might really get kind of jostled up a bit. And I don't know if you'll go by just what teams have done in the last 2 or 3 weeks or whether you'll have to reevaluate the total. But I don't know if there's a ton of difference between maybe 4 and 12 or 5 and 11. So I still think there's a lot of jockeying accomplish here the next couple of weeks, probably even into and through the conference tournaments.
Brett, it's just a couple of weeks. What do you make of baseball so far? They've started very well.
They have started well. You know, a few guys, I guess, Phil, that really excite me, and Zach Roots one. I wish I would have been able to see his performance like you did in Arlington. I think we got a glimpse of that against Washington State, but to do it in that venue against tougher competition, I think was pretty exciting. I think we're seeing some glimpses that Logan Maxwell's getting healthy and can be a middle-of-the-lineup guy. Kahio Aloy, though, has to be the most fun I've had watching anybody. When you have 4 hits all in excess of 106 or 107 miles an hour, I mean, it's hard to hit a ball that hard, but to do it 4 times in a game and get hits, I mean, I was pretty excited about that. And, you know, the continuing development of Iredale at third base. So, you know, they've got to kind of figure out that first and second base position, whether it's by platoon or not. And I still think there's probably a little refinement in the 8th and 9th inning roles in the bullpen. But, you know, this is a get-well stretch, Phil. I don't know if we're going to learn a ton in the next 9 games or so, considering the non-conference opponents. But, I mean, I would anticipate them kind of being in a spot we thought they were last year with only a couple of jobs to kind of figure out and a few more roles to refine. But certainly a lot of talent. And I've enjoyed watching the newcomers.
Yeah, it's about getting in a good mindset now, because after this next weekend, then you have just one to go until you finally start SEC play. So you really got to get into the right mindset. Did you see Florida and Stetson from a couple of days ago? Florida won the game. I think it was 6-1. And Stetson played the game under protest because of a disagreement of a call at first base on, well, they use an orange extra base. We use a green extra base at Bowen Walker, but in Stetson, it's an orange base. And there was question as to whether or not their runner used the right base. You know, if the fielder goes to the orange base, the runner has to go to the white base. They played it under protest, though. And I know how that works in Major League Baseball. The protest goes to the commissioner's office, and it's all decided by the commissioner. I could see within the SEC, it's all decided by the person who handles all of the rules for umpires in the SEC. But for a non-conference game with Stetson in Florida, like to play the game under protest, I have no idea who it is that makes this decision as to whether or not the protest is upheld. There is no commissioner.
I don't know either. I mean, I don't know. I would imagine there's probably a consortium of the umpires that handle some of the issues, and maybe that's the case. I'm glad you brought that up, because we had an ESPN baseball conference call this week, one of like 10 I've been on, and they talked about some interpretation issues, and Mike Rooney of D1 Baseball and ESPN was asking if it was the Arkansas game, and I don't know the full context of that with the base and the touching it in Arlington, but he mentioned it was the Stetson game. So that was the one that they brought up on our big call. So we were supposed to get a clip from it. I haven't seen that clip yet, but I'm with you. I don't know who exactly would make that decision unless it's the crew chief of all the umpires that handles that league, or the league in which the game was played. But it seemed like that would be a bureaucratic volleyball back and forth between people who don't want to have to make that decision.
The play that he's referring to with Arkansas was in the TCU game when Cam Kozel turned a 3-6-3 double play while tripping and falling and then crawling back to first base. He was practically sitting on both bases, but the umpires, I think, said that there was a piece of the white base for the runner to go to, and since he'd caught the ball, the play's over. It's a forced play, so it's over. And by the way, that was the first day in Cam Kozel's life he ever played first base. And to have to turn a 3-6-3 in the first day you've ever played it, like Bubba always says, and you find this to be right, Bubba, the ball will find you when you're playing your first game at a position.
There's no doubt. In fact, in TV, we have fun when there's a defensive replacement late. We say, well, the ball's going to be going to him, and a number of times we'll introduce a new right fielder, and the ball will be a fly ball on the chalk down the line, and he's running into a fence or a tarp or something. It feels like it happens all the time, like the baseball gods get their amusement out of having a line drive come to somebody who's just entered the game.
Brad, I'll see you later tonight. Arkansas, Mizzou, 6:30, and then I'll see you tomorrow with Baum. Thanks for coming on.
You got it.
Brett Dolan with us each Thursday on Halftime. There's really just 2 nights left to enjoy Fish City Grill's February specials. Beer-battered haddock tacos coming with slaw, Fresno chili tartar, cilantro, and it's accompanied with sweet potato fries, seared cobia as well, dirty rice, Cajun butter, roasted zucchini, yellow squash, and it's topped with grilled lemon. That's the specials for another 2 nights at Fish City Grill at South Bellevue Road in Rogers, or fishcitygrill.com. You can get curbside pickup or delivery by calling 479-636-8833. And halftime continues in the home stretch right after this break.
Oh, come on, guys. It's so simple. Maybe you need a refresher course. It's all ball bearings nowadays.
This is halftime.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Coming to you live here on ESPN 95.3, it's Colton Little. Vibes are high across Arkansas as the shorthanded Razorbacks took advantage of Texas last night. Hey, if you're shorthanded but you still want to take advantage, you can do that here at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Sallisaw, because it's the Pick Your Salesman Showdown event happening right now, and the deals are unprecedented happening through the end of the month. They've got matching down payments of up to $1,500 and over $10,000 in discounts during this sale. They've got new 2024 Ford F-150s, new 2024 Ford Expeditions, and tons of vehicles on the lot that you can walk out of here with today with lots of money off on, as well as matching payments of up to $1,500. No one takes care of you better than Harry Robinson. You'll find the best selection here and the best group of guys looking to take care of you at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford. Come see him.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're live at First Financial Mortgage with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan was my mortgage lender here. And Ethan, between you and Emily, over 2 decades.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of experience here to help you get closed on a home really quick. We offer custom financing available through VA, FHA, RD, and conventional loans. First Financial Mortgage has a great history of lending in the area. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Arkansas and Texas kind of in the middle to the back end of the SEC standings. There was a big one in the Big Ten with two teams near the top of the Big Ten standings yesterday. Michigan State and Maryland ended like this. It wasn't quite half court. It was more like 2/3 of the court. Heaved it down the floor to break what was a 55-55 tie, give the Spartans and your boy Tom Izzo another victory. And I think the moral of the story here is if you're going to fire a three with 4.5 seconds left on the clock and it's a tie game, you might want to make sure that there are a few more of your teammates under the rim.
Yeah, situational awareness, that does help to know what's going on. I wonder if a team like St. John's or a team like Michigan State, they go into – Michigan State wins the Big Ten tournament, that could be a 1 seed. You start looking around and, who knows who's going to win the SEC tournament. But, Auburn, Alabama, I think, are two of the favorites. People like Florida and Tennessee. But you kind of start looking around who's going to be the 1 seeds. Michigan State's got an outside shot to be a 1 seed still.
Let's see them here. They are 23-5, 14-3 in the Big Ten. You're right. You win the Big Ten tournament, there's a good chance of it. I don't know if earlier there were some folks that thought the SEC might get 3 number 1 seeds. That's not going to happen.
I don't think so.
No, that won't happen now. Auburn will get a number 1. I still think Florida's got a shot, even with their loss. Who was it to recently? Was that Georgia? Yeah. I think they still potentially have a chance, but may need to win the SEC tournament. Auburn, though, you're going to win the SEC regular season, whatever happens in the tournament. Number 1 seed.
But does Florida? We seen this last year, and it was kind of weird to see. But I mean, do these SEC teams that get double bye? I'm not saying you don't want to win the tournament, but it didn't seem like they're not really trying that first game. Now if they make it to the finals and they try, but it's almost kind of got like a baseball SEC tournament that these guys are already seeded where they're going to be nationally. That's what they're worried about.
I agree. Yes, and the conference tournament has a lot less meaning than it did before, and the conference tournament before had a lot less meaning too.
I kind of wish it was back the other way where it meant a little bit more, but it just doesn't seem that way. I always think anytime you get a chance to hang a banner, you take it for real and take it seriously. But every coach has their way about going about what they're trying, what the end goal is.
I know you look at the Sun Belt, and there's teams would have to win potentially, I think, like 7 games in 7 days to get there. And obviously, no one's going to pull that off. The Sun Belt's, structuring a championship so that they can get one of their top 4 teams to the tournament, so that maybe they can win more games. I mean, more teams in your tournament, more wins that you get there, and your team play with more games, more money for the rest of the league. So it matters to them. For Arkansas, and I don't want them to be in a position where it's like, all right, go out and play 4 games in 4 days. It's. I understand there's another week before you actually will play in the NCAA tournament, but I don't want like right now. I still feel you make your resume in the regular season. I don't think that there's anything that will happen in Nashville and be like, well, all right, that's the win that gets them in. I think maybe you can move around in some seeding in some cases, but you're going to make your case in the regular season. This is not a team that needs to be playing 4 games in Nashville. Unless they lose the next 3 and have to win the SEC tournament to make it, well, then it's just play reckless abandon, and we'll worry about the March Madness when we get there. But otherwise, I would view it the same way of kind of like the baseball tournament. And I always think the same as you, Matt. How can you take the floor or take a field of competition and not try your absolute best? But I've also seen it in some circumstances where it's understood that whatever happens in this game will have nothing to do about where we're seated in a basketball or a baseball tournament. So don't take it too serious. Like, don't hurt yourself.
Well, and this team has to keep playing unselfish, and it does start with the defense. When you look at Texas, that game, it started with the defense, and we made it difficult for we made it stressful. We made it tough on Texas to kind of get going, and then their shooter had a couple uncontested looks and made them in the second half, and then he got hot. But for the most part, we got more of the easy buckets. We rebounded with them. We didn't get out rebounded. We were able to get transition buckets and make it tougher on them, and that was kind of the simple keys right there to keep it successful. And it's a formula that can travel based on effort and ability and making the right play. That I think it gives you a very good chance to beat South Carolina and Columbia.
And effort is such an integral aspect of defense, and I haven't questioned their defensive effort for most of the season. I mean, there've been a few drives to the rim and open shots and everything, but it's a team that defends really, really well. And all of the guys that are still available, outside of Brazil, but he can still help you around the rim if there's effort. He can still defend a big guy that can shoot on the outside with a little effort. So I think Trevin can defend to a certain level, maybe not to the level of some of the other guys here like an Adu, but it's a team that can defend without fouling very much, which is difficult to do when you got guys playing 35, 38, 39, 40 and a half minutes, but they didn't foul very much. It's impressive to see a team that can defend like that because they're going to have to moving forward. I start to worry about a team that's down to 7 and think, well, are you conserving some energy and maybe allowing a few buckets that you wouldn't allow in some cases? Didn't see any of that yesterday. In fact, I thought they defended a lot better than you'd think for a team that allowed 81 points. To me, that's just about Trey Johnson's ability to shoot. That's what it was about yesterday for Texas.
I was having glimpses of the Miami Hurricane game this year when we were down in Naples, and we were able to come back and win. And it's what was that, Georgia just 2 days ago where they had a big lead and then the other team came back and took a lead.
Florida, yep.
Took a lead real quick, and then they were able to, because a lot of times, man, it's tough. You kind of feel the wall caving in right there, and they stuck together, made some big time free throws, and kept it. They never hung their head. Even when it happened, they never kind of panicked.
It's like your closer giving up 3 runs in the 9th inning, but your guys in the dugout, don't worry, I got you. We're going to score a run for you.
We were up 4 to go into it, but I got you.
Your boy, the Hurricanes, by the way, are 6-22.
We saw that. I think that was the first thing that when we came in here, and I said, it was the Hogs' best 9 minutes of basketball I've seen them play, but the Hurricanes aren't a tournament team. I got something right this year.
Larinaga is still coaching them, right? He didn't just did he leave? He didn't leave the team in the middle of the season. I think he said by the end of the year he's going to leave.
This is the rocking chairs. Yeah, this is the scenic tour, the victory lap, I think.
Oh
for him.
Man,
they all know he's going.
The rocking chair doesn't have anything to hold him in the chair. He's falling through it. That's a tough way to go out. Really tough way to go out. The team that Arkansas's women's team is playing tonight, Mizzou. Their coach she announced yesterday that she's leaving. And 6 years they've been really rough. I mean, really rough. No NCAA tournament in the last 6 years. 2 wins for both teams, and I would expect to see 2 teams that are pretty desperate to try to win a basketball game tonight at 6:30. We still have some time for calls and texts at 877-377-6963. We'd had here's a movie a Gene Hackman movie that I haven't seen yet, and I don't know if I've even heard of it before. Bat 21. This came in from text out of the 501 Jimmy. Says a Gene Hackman movie called Bat 21 would be is really good. So I mean, I feel like I got to watch French Connection over the weekend for my own personal halftime homework, so I can see the movie that he won the first Oscar for. And to see this, I've seen the chase scene, just not the rest of the movie. Bat 21, 1988, war movie. Looks like it could be good. But we got C-Unit watching Unforgiven over the weekend, and you are very welcome for being assigned that. You're also assigned to get over to Andy's Frozen Custard anytime you're craving something sweet and delicious, because Andy's has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. Ask about the Cherry Bash Concrete frozen custard blended with chocolate syrup, maraschino cherries, Heath Bar, and Almonds. So at all of Andy's locations, East Oak Street, Dave Ward Drive in Conway, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock, and Andy's Frozen Custard walk-up or drive-through. They are always ready to serve you. After the break, we wrap up halftime, so stay with us.
This is halftime.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Checking back in here on ESPN 95.3, it's Colton Little. I'm 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Sallisaw at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, and it's the Pick Your Salesman Showdown event happening right now through the end of the month. That's right through tomorrow. They've got these deals right now, and they're the best that Harry has ever had. It's the Pick Your Salesman Showdown event. They're having a fun competition right now between all the sales guys. And the winning salesman, get this, they're going to get a free vacation. They're going to have their feet up, beers on ice somewhere up there in Hoagatown in those nice cabins. And they can only do that if they help you find the car that you're looking for right here at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford. Over $10,000 in discounts happening right now, matching down payments of up to $1,500. Whether it's the new F-150s or a 2024 Ford Expedition, Harry can get you in a new vehicle today. Stop by and see him, exit 308 off of I-40 in Sallisaw.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest on Saturday, April 26th. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please visit our Facebook page for more information or call our office at 479-452-2260.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts need, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I'm not your woman, I'm not your man. That you never understand, I never beat you, I never lie. If you evil, I forgive you, and by God,
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, I get on the road after the show here. I don't think I'm home for another 11 days. Then it means I spend maybe 4 days at home, like in my actual house, over a 25 or 26-day stretch. Not complaining. No, I'm not saying that for complaining whatsoever. It's just like it's road laundry again. I did a little road laundry last week because of the snowstorm. I'll have to do road laundry next week, and then maybe not again until the end of June. And if we get to the end of June, you know the reason why we're doing road laundry in a very specific and a very special place for a sport with a ball and a bat. But we'll worry about that another time. Let's see, just a couple things to hit on here. Travis Kelce says he's going to play next season. Not going out like that, he says. So another year for Kelce with the Kansas City Chiefs. No surprise on that. NFL salary cap is set for next year, $279.2 million per team, an increase of nearly $24 million per team. Wow.
The Oakland Athletics could have used some of that money.
You could. I think the Oakland Athletics are paying their entire team $23.8 million. What's 23.8 going to get you? If you get that extra money, what are you going to spend? What are you going to spend it on? If you're going to pick one position, you want the shutdown cornerback, Matt?
Which team are we talking about?
Any team. It's a team team that you're playing for.
No, I don't. You don't start. I mean, yeah, if he's an elite guy, I'll take him. But you got to inside out is how you build a team. If it's your tackles, if it's your edge rushers, obviously you got to have a quarterback first and foremost. But inside out is how you build a team.
So you're going to maybe pay a center 23.8.
I mean, if he's Jeff Saturday, who was the center that was it Zach Martin that the Cowboys took from Notre Dame in the first round? He played a decade and never. I mean, if you can find one that's there, I think the tackle from LSU is the can't miss tackle prospect in this year's draft, and then I think it's heavy on edge rushers is what I'm seeing as far as for the combine. And Landon Jackson's position, it seems like there's the most quality players at that position.
I'd be good for an edge rusher at 23.8, but that may be a starting point for some guys coming in free agency. Who knows? Hey, tomorrow I'll be at Baum. We'll have a 3 o'clock first pitch against Charlotte. Tomorrow's show on a Friday, including Aaron Torres, James Teague, and Neil Atkinson, and then it's a baseball game at 3 o'clock. So it's kind of that point of the year where some of the programming on ESPN Arkansas gets preempted on some of our affiliates. Not all of the affiliates carry baseball, but 3 of them do. And then we get into the weekend, and then it's South Carolina on Saturday, which turns into another, I don't know if it's must win. Don't lose that game. Let's put it that way.
Well, it's a 2-step forward, or it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back if you get beat. That's what it is. And then you're just kind of you're go ahead and win it and get to 7, and then you know you're going dancing.
Sounds about right. Well, you got 7 now. Well, you got 6 now. 1 more. You're right. 1 more, and you feel really, really good about it. Hey, make sure you download the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast. If you missed any of the show today, it includes all our talks with Dudley Dawson from Hogville, Bubba Carpenter from the baseball broadcast, and Brett Dolan. Appreciate Eastside Liquor for sponsoring the Halftime Podcast going on 3 years. Ruskin and Zach coming up in just a few minutes. And we'll see you tomorrow. So have a great rest of your day. Women's basketball tonight, 6:30. Beat Mizzou. Please take them down. They've beaten them 12 straight games. For Matt Jones and for Kristen Johnston, I'm Phil Elson. We appreciate you listening today at halftime. Now get up, get out, and get better.